Evil.
Joining me now, Congresswoman Debbie Dingell, Democrat from Michigan and a member of the Energy and Commerce Committee. Congresswoman, with a welcome to you on this Sunday morning. Can the president back Democrats into a corner on this? Do you think your constituents are buying the president's narrative?
Well, good morning, Alex. And I think Father's Day is a very good day to discuss this. No, quite frankly, they're not buying it. I am just simply stunned that the president would try to blame this on Democrats when we've been trying to get comprehensive immigration reform through since he has become president. We've needed to do it for decades. This is a decision, if you read the same article, it says that both the Bush administration and the Obama administration reviewed and decided that it was morally and politically not something that they should do. He rejected it at the beginning of his administration. He has a couple of people in his administration that are apparently pushing this, but I'm going to use the words of Cardinal Dolan. This is unjust, it is un-American, and it is unbiblical. It is wrong, morally wrong, and we have to do something for these children.
And let's remind viewers that as a result of not being able to come to an agreement over DACA, the government was actually shut down. This is while the Republicans were in control of both houses of Congress. That happened last spring. So you have to keep all that in mind going forward. And I know that you tweeted on Friday that the stories from the border make me ill. Babies ripped away from their breastfeeding mothers, fathers driven to suicide. These are not American values. It's cruel, inhumane, and does nothing to make us a safer country. But what can you do to stop it?
First of all, this is what makes me so angry. Have you met these DACA kids? These kids are some of the most decent young people you'll ever meet, and they are desperate. They are crying. They just burst into tears in my arm. The president, when he announced his DACA policy, said, we have to do something for these kids. Yet he's done nothing to help move this forward. On Friday, when you've got Republicans that have been working desperately to get a discharge petition to try to get something that will move, the president sends out his mixed signals again. Nope, I'm not going to support it. You know, he said we have to do something to help the DACA kids, and then he doesn't do something. At what point are we going to just come in good faith? This shouldn't be Democratic or Republican. We need to, as Americans, start to deal with some of these issues. And these young babies that are being separated from their parents, you know, there's another article over the weekend that talks about doctors going to visit these sites and talks about how you're not allowed to touch these children. We've all seen the picture of that 2-year-old. She needs to be hugged. At what point do we say, okay, what will you do? I've said, I think a wall is stupid. I think it's a wall of division. But if you'll work with us and we can do something, I'll support the wall to do something morally about these issues.
So what you just said, and by the way, we have a doctor coming on after the next break to talk about exactly what's happening to these kids psychologically in every way, shape, and form. But to that point, is the president wanting to hear exactly what you said, Congresswoman, that you're willing to work with him, that you'll say, okay, I will support funding a wall to some extent? Is that why he is doing this? He's trying to use this issue as leverage to get money for his wall.
But you know what? If that's what he was trying to do, then he should have done it. We have been ready to do this for months. This is the latest in a war that makes no sense. And, you know, the biggest problem right now is, okay, Friday morning, well, I'm not going to support this. I'm not supporting the bill. Later in the day, White House staff is saying, no, that's not true. We didn't know what he was talking about. One of the biggest problems is the lack of clarity about what he will and won't do. And another thing I can't stand is when you start saying Democrats don't care about the MS-13 gangs. We all care about not letting anybody into this country that is a danger to our national security. And those gangs are killing kids in neighborhoods we don't want to see them kill. Let's all stop this hyperbole of words. Let's find the human heart in us, and let's do something to help our DACA kids, these babies that are being separated from their parents. Where does our moral responsibility kick in? And by the way, a bunch of us are going to be going to the border next week in a group of women. About 20 women are going to be going. There's going to be another congressional delegation. We need to